How my lovelies, it's Misha. So this is part 3 of this little mini series for mature women makeup for beginners, and today I will cover eyeshadow. I'll try to achieve this look, what you can see. Also, if you just stumbled upon this video and you haven't seen part 1, I will link it here, and I will link part 2 in here. And don't worry, you can start watching it now. If you click on it, it will pause this video and the other one will open in a separate window. So when you finish watching part 1, you can close that, then you can click on part 2. When you finish that, you can come back to this video. So this video is not gonna disappear, it's just gonna pause while you're watching the first 2. So let's start. And I know that after I've done this, you still will have plenty of questions, because obviously not everybody has eyes like mine, and unfortunately that's all I can do. I can do it on my eyes. I wish you could all sit here with me and we could play and work out the way for every one of you to do it right. Anyway, so first of all, what you need is always eyeshadow primer. It is very important because, especially with our more mature lids, you know, our skin is a bit more crepey and you know, not as taut as it used to be, and the eyeshadow can move about and crease and stuff like that. So eyeshadow primer is very important. It doesn't have to be a very expensive one. Today I'm going to be using e.l.f. one in sheer, but you know, any of the Urban Decay ones and Too Faced, they all good. So you will need one of those. And now eyeshadows. Let's start really easy. When I do my makeup look, I probably always use 4 eyeshadows, but 3 should be enough to start off with. I use 4 and maximum 6, I would say. Now, as we're talking about mature ladies, I think we will stay away with a lot of shimmer. Shimmer is fine in small doses. I don't mind shimmer. I still use shimmer, but maybe not for every day. And I will show you how to use shimmer to your advantage. So shimmer can be good in small doses, like I said. So first palette that I will tell you is very good for this would be the SONIA KASHUK Iron Neutral, which is 02. I bought it on eBay because obviously you can't get it in the UK. You can get it in US very easily. So yeah, that's a good palette because it's very, very natural, neutral and matte, all matte. And I also will give you an option of taking some of my MAC eyeshadows here. Well, one is Makeup Geek. I've got here BRULE, which is a creamy matte shadow. Then I have Rice Paper, which is a bit shimmery, not too much. And then I have CORK, and this is Makeup Geek MOCHA. Okay, so let's start with 3 colors. You always need a light color for your mobile lid. Something like this, like a base color. Then you will need like a mid-tone color and a darker one. And you try to keep them in the same color palette. So if you're using neutrals, browns, you would use 3 browns, like you can see here. Okay, so we've got the light one, then the little shimmery one that is not necessary, then this is like your mid-tone, and then darker one. Okay, Okay, so let me now bring the screen closer and we'll start. Sun is very bright outside. Okay, now how much primer to use? I've had a question like this. You don't need much, and also some people say I use primer and it's still all creasing. It probably is because you use too much primer, you just put it on and do nothing with it. So what you do is about that much. That's probably even too much. Once you've deposited that on your lid, pat it in. Pat it in. Don't just leave it like it is because it will dry with creases. So pat it in. I don't put mine all the way up because obviously I don't put many eyeshadows here that would be creasing. So I just put it here. I often put primer as well under my lower lash line because I often put shadow under here, but you don't have to. Okay, now I won't spend too much time talking about brushes because if you look in a description box there is a video about best eye brushes for hooded eyes, so check that one out. If you look in the description box there's lots of videos for makeup for hooded eyes, so look in there. Okay, so we're gonna take now our light color. So I'm gonna take BRULE, and for that you will need like a paddle brush, and this one happens to be Bare Essential Wet and Dry, this one is called, but you can use something like Sigma E55, just one of those, you know, I call them paddle brushes. It doesn't have to be specific one. And we're gonna lay this color on our mobile lid. Why are we doing that? Because that's gonna give us the illusion of eye being brighter and bigger. And when you're putting that color in, pat it in. Don't go in and out because first of all you will get a lot of fallout, and then also you're not applying the eyeshadow, you're rubbing it off. Okay, so that's what you would start off with. And this, if you were doing a say purpley look, you can choose very light pink. So depends what color scheme you're planning for your eye. You choose those three shadows in the same shade range. Okay, so we've got that color on. Now we're going to go for the mid-tone. I'm sorry about the lighting if it's going bright and dark, but sun goes in and out and it's morning, so I can't control it unfortunately. Okay, so we've done our eyelid. Now we're going to concentrate on a crease, and I will not go into the crease, where to find your crease, because we all have different crease. Crease is basically this part here where our lid folds over, but all of us have crease in different place. Some of us don't really have a crease, we have to make one, like the hooded people like me. So, but again, in a description box there is a video called Hooded Eyes, Where Do I Find My Crease? Look at that. This is purely about placing the eyeshadow. Okay, so for this you would take some sort of a blending brush. This one is MAC 217, or you could take Sigma E25, something like this. And we're going to go into a mid-tone, so I will go into Cork. Now, this is very important. A lot of you say, I try to blend like you do, but my skin on my eyes go back and forth. What you have to remember is if you have a good quality eyeshadow, good quality brush, and you use the lightest stroke possible, you barely touch it, then your skin should not move. I mean, I can stretch my skin by acting surprised. If you can't do that, if you can't lift your eyebrows, then maybe hold it with your other finger. But use very light stroke, and that shouldn't move your skin too much. So I know where to find my crease. And you always start from the outside corner, so you deposit the most color here. and you sort of go like this and then wipe it to the middle, and I'm barely touching my skin. And then you can go in. Always start at this corner because you always want this corner to be darkest, this one the lightest. That will open up your eyes and make them look bigger. Okay, and that's where I've made my crease. And just blend that lovely. Blend, 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 again with very light stroke, barely touching it, because if you start going at it really hard, you're just wiping off what you've put on or over blend it. And then you would go with the darkest color, and I could use Cocoa Bear, but you could use any darker brown. This one might be even too dark for you if you're starting out, so I might take one from here, just any darker one, and I will take smaller blending brush or a crease brush. I really like this one actually. My two favorite ones are Sigma E45 for doing what I'm going to be doing, or ZOEVA Petite Crease. So you go in to the darker brown now with it, just the tip of it, and again concentrating here, you just work now in this corner. And how intense you want it is up to you. You could leave it like this, you could carry on. You can also pull this color sort of 1/3 in. Okay, so you shade this this area. That always looks quite nice too. Now, shimmer. We can still use shimmer, and the best place to use shimmer is take something like a pencil brush, which this is 219, MAC 219, and I'm going into rice paper. Shimmer is best used in a corner of your eye to brighten up this area. You can use it under here, but that can look a bit overdone. For the daytime, I would rather use BRULE, the one that I used all over my lid. If you use it here, you again make your eye bigger, you make this area nice and open. Where you can use shimmer is in the middle of your lid here as well. And this is not too shimmery, this one. I mean, you could use more shimmery than this, because remember, anything that is light and shimmery jumps out at you, brings attention to that bit. Anything dark and matte will retract things. So if you want to make that lid bigger by putting shimmery light color, that will pop out at you. If you see the difference, see how hooded my eye is here, but you can't see it so much here because of that light color made my eyelid come forward. What I always like to do as well, and I will take another pencil brush, is to bring the color under my lower lash line. I think it finishes off the makeup. I think brings all the makeup together, and also I really believe that it detracts from eye bags when you have eye bags. So I am going to put, and again I'm starting at the outside corner, so the darkest color is here. You can even connect that, and just with what's left over go into the middle. So that would be your basic startup look. You can then from here make it a bit more dramatic, start playing with it. But if you just practice that with any 3 colors in a shade family, it could be grays, it could be blues, it could be purples, greens, anything, as long as you have the light color, mid color and darker color. And like I said, you can play with shimmers as well, but just put them in those little places. You can now try to make this look a bit darker, and I will go into Cocoa Bear. So the rest is staying the same. I'm just going to concentrate on this corner, making it darker and darker, and always with whatever, I always deposit the color here and work in this corner, and then whatever is left, I'll bring it in. And just make tiny strokes, do it in tiny little movements. Don't go really fast up and down. If you see what I'm doing, I will go a bit here, a bit here. It's so just patting and working it in. And when you blend in, you take something like, I quite like a ZOEVA crease brush, for example, and you can blend out this harsh line. And with this, because it's a very lovely soft brush, you can go up and down very lightly, and that should just soften the look. And that's all you have to do. And like I said, you can carry on then and make it more dramatic. You can add a bit more of the light color, so the lid is even pops out even more. And you know me, I'm just so tempted. I just cannot do everyday look. I like my makeup quite dark, but I will leave it there. Now, I will not do a video about eyeliner, because again, when you look in the description box, there is also a video for different ways of doing winged eyeliner. But when you're a beginner, it can be so daunting to attempt kohl liner, gel liner, any liner. So what I suggest is take your darkest brown, like I will take the Cocoa Bear, take your like a little angled brush, put it in that and make your line. You don't have to have the liner at all, but if you want to, just do it with your eyeshadow. If the eyeshadow is not showing much, then you can always wet the brush. But that does give you a bit of definition. You can go a bit more under here. And then all is left is mascara. Okay, so once you've mastered this, the rest should be easy. Then you can start adding different colors and play with it. To some of you, that is probably quite dark. To me, that isn't. But hopefully I showed it to you in stages, so you don't have to do it. Let's do the lashes now. And we already know how important the lashes are, because that was our part. Okay, so that's the finished look. I hope you could see it all well, and I hope I've explained it well. This is like my go-to look. This is something that I would do if I can't be bothered about thinking of anything more impressive. I just do something like this. And it is best to start with neutral colors, because you're not going to look like a clown if you overdo it a bit, if you were doing it with purple or blue. So if you just practice that, so all you need is 3 colors really, you should be fine. And from then on, once you're confident with the basics, you can start adding different colors. Can I just bring to your attention again my eyelashes, which are enormous. I am so impressed with them. For those who don't know, is the Rapid Lash Serum that I've been using now for a couple of months, and my eyelashes are gorgeous. I cannot believe it. Anyway, I hope this was good enough and it will help some of you out there. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you soon. Bye.